What's up, everybody? Thank you again for joining us again tonight. We appreciate the love. And I'm your host, the one and only Trent Richardson. And you are listening to The Ropes with TR3. And we got another great show tonight this evening. And joining me tonight, your favorite co-host, the one and only, the legendary Coach Mike McCoy. Coach Mike, how you doing?
And I'm doing good, man. I'm wide open on this road trying to get my next destination, baby.
Man, it's so crazy, man. Because I listen to some people, and they're talking about the dynasty is over, and I don't believe in that, Mike. And I know we talked about this a little bit last night, but when you talk about the dynasty, man, people don't know and don't realize what Nick has built over there, and how hard it is to break that up. Far as you know, the coaches that he dish out every year, the number one recruits that he get in every year and lose to the first round, and now with the transfer portal, man, it's tough. I mean, but can you see that the dynasty is coming to an end? Would you say that? I mean,
The
and
only
I say
way,
that, and I say that too,
go ahead.
Mike was saying, like, anytime we have lost this year, it's been on us, and anytime that we have lost, it's been by a point or three.
I agree. I'm with you. No, the dynasty is far from over, man. As long as that man is sitting on the throne, I don't think he can be dethroned. It's a dynasty. It's built like they built something special over there. But what comes with a dynasty, it comes a lot of change. I don't think he has the same tenure with coaches that want to continue to come in and stay and learn. I think they come in, try to learn the process, and they leave and they don't do as well.
Mm.
And then they're too prideful to circle back and have to come back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The reason Kirby's having so much success because Kirby, been with him since his LSU days.
Mm-hmm.
Cochran was with him with his LSU days. Even him and Ogeron were, at LSU together. So it's a lot of history that goes into it, man. And but I think he got a lot of dogs around him. I think he just got to bring the right core group of people, just from a coordinator standpoint, somebody that wants to embody and understand what it means to be a dog. I think you saw the problem right then and there. But I'm with you. A lot of those losses are self-inflicted. It can be cleaned up. There's a lot of disciplinary things that need to change and must happen. And just got to get that energy back, man. It's all there. All the talent in the world, man. But you got to put the right drivers in the right seat.
I agree with you on that, man. And before we go to the next question, man, we got a legendary, the 1992 captain of the championship team, man, the one and only Prince Wimbley, man. He's on the line too. Prince, how you doing?
What's going on, Trent? What's going on, Mike? How y'all doing?
Oh, man, you got it, brother. What's going on?
Man, I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up, man.
No, man. I'm just trying to make it happen. I'm like Mike on to my next destination before 6 o'clock hit. So I just want to jump on the show and be a part of it.
Man, you know what, Prince, man, I appreciate you, man, for the love, man. Me and Prince does a lot of stuff together, man. Like far as that B-side 5. When I speak B-side 5, man, that's our fraternity for our Bama brothers, man. And man, when I say these two guys that's on with me right now, man, they have embraced me and showed me more than brotherly love. And we can't even. I mean, other than we don't look alike, but with these two brothers here, man, you couldn't even tell that we had different mamas, man. And it's genuine love when it comes to all of us, man. I know Trey has your son Trey Prince. He had a real good season this year, man. How's he doing now? And what's his next gig?
Oh, well, the piggyback on what Mike was saying earlier, I want to start with that first.
Okay.
I totally agree with what you're saying, Mike. The dynasty is not over. We just got to get a lot of the players that have continuity as well. I think a lot of them are very young. We don't have those dogs in certain positions, like you were saying. But the dynasty is far from over. We got a lot of five-star athletes. Like you were saying, as long as Coach Saban's there, we're not going to decline. We had a lot of self-inflicted wounds, like you were saying, on the losses that we can clean up. We can easily be undefeated right now. So I just wanted to say that. I totally agree with what you were saying earlier, Mike. Now talking about my son, Trey, yeah, he's doing well. His first year at Briarwood, you know, he's in the 7th grade, played multiple positions. They went undefeated this year. Great coaching staff, great chemistry. And now he's in basketball, so he's translating into basketball right now. They had this is their 3rd basketball game coming up. They won 2, and they played 3 games. They won 2 and they lost one last night, a nail biter by 1 point, against a very good team that was very athletic. But they missed, you know, some layups and some free throws, and you can't beat a good team missing free throws. But yeah, he's enjoying the change. You know, we came from Chelsea, and now he's at Briarwood, and he's enjoying it. And he's building a culture over here with a lot of his new teammates.
Man, I got a question for both of y'all, man, and I had this discussion the other day with a couple of my guys. You know, what was your first invitation to SEC football?
Say that again, Trent.
What was your first invitation as far as, you know, being on the field and of SEC football? Like, what was that, you know, to know that, hey, okay, it's different. All right, I get it.
Well, for me, coming from, you know, I'm from Miami, Florida, but me coming in with my freshman class, I was one of 2 only freshmen to play on the team, and my first SEC game was in Knoxville, Tennessee. 100+, sea of orange. That was my first SEC game. You talking about a young kid on a big stage, man, it gave me chills, man, walking out there listening to, you know they crunk up Rocky Top, You Always Be Home, Sweet Home to Me. And, you know, you couldn't hear anything. You know, me as a freshman, I made a lot of mental mistakes. But at the same time, it made me better because my first SEC game was in a huge stadium with a team that had a lot of history, and it was crazy down there. But I think it made me better, though.
Most definitely. Mike, what about you?
Man, I got a little bit. I'm like Prince. I got a chance to travel my freshman year. Coach Shula he wasn't big on playing. You know, I came with Andre, and Andre was, I think, his first freshman he ever started. But I got a chance to travel. But I guess my first real initiation, I was like, I'm in the SEC, is what I started as a sophomore, and we played Arkansas. And this is when Arkansas had Coach Houston, Nutt, and they had, who would have running back? I think Felix Jones.
Oh, yeah,
and,
Felix Jones and was it Darren McFadden? Yeah.
Yeah, man. When I saw them boys, man, I said, oh, yeah, baby, we live. When we watched them, this is when Arkansas used to play man across the board. They had a DB named Chris Johnson. And this dude had me scared. I ain't going to even lie to you. I was scared. We had been watching film. And if you ask DJ Hall or Keith Brown about it, they're going to laugh about it. Bro, this man used to literally choke receivers on the line. And that's my first, you know, nobody wants to be embarrassed. And that was my welcome to the SEC moment when I got out there. You know, I held my own, man. So Arkansas and those fans do not play, man. People don't realize it. It's like an ant bed, but it's right. Their fans are like, they can really dang near touch you if you been to their stadium, man. They are close by. But, Trent, you've been in there, so you know.
Yeah.
But that was my first, like, oh, man, this is the SEC. Oh, these boys ain't playing, you know. So that was my
you know what, man?
My first tour day and calling my mama. Told her I was coming home.
On that first tour day?
Man, it was hot, man. I saw Satan out there drinking water, man. It was too hot, man.
Man, it was so crazy for my first, my invitation for the SEC football because, man, I had went out and I think we had played like, was it FIU or something like that, and I mean, I had dogged them, man. We had a good game. Me and you, Mike, had a good game because Mark ended up getting sick, and Mark had the flu, and you know, the game before I had played maybe 4 minutes or 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. You know, everybody was saying they wanted to see more of me. Coach Saban said he wanted to see more of me. And Upchurch was balling that Virginia Tech game, man. And so I was surprised that I got, you know, the ball much as I did the next game. And so I think it was that game, and I mean we might have played North Texas the next game after that, but the next game was Arkansas, and we was at home. And I remember Justin Woodall coming to me. He said, "You been playing good, Rook,
Let's
but
get it on."
SEC football is about to, you know, that's when you get your stripes. You know, that's when that real football comes." And I didn't understand what he was saying, and I didn't get it. You know, I'm thinking football to me. I don't care who in front of me. You know, I'm for to run somebody over, and you know, it is what it is. And so, man, we looking at the scouting report for the Arkansas week, man. I think they linebackers were like 250 across the road, and they looked like our linebackers. In the games we played before, I didn't see that, you know. And they had a safety that was 230. They had a safety that was 6'2", 230. They had a cornerback that was 6'1", 200. They had another cornerback was 6'4", something like that. And so I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is what they mean. And so we go out there, man, and it might have been the first drive I got in. And the first time I got the ball, my right tackle didn't touch nobody, right? When I mean they didn't touch nobody, I mean I got the ball. He was in the backfield with me. And so happened he didn't wrap up. And I broke that tackle. I broke about 3 to 4 more tackles. And
on the right side of the field. I remember that.
Yep, scooting down the doggone, scooting down the sideline. And then there was a flag on the play. But guess who met me in the end zone? Mike McCoy met me in the end zone, and I did the weakest celebration ever. I just threw my hands up, and I was just like, I didn't know I had scored. You know, I just threw my hands. I just seen the crowd going. Me and Mike bumped each other's chest, and I just threw my hands up. And so people was like, "What are you doing? What was that? Like, you ain't got nothing else. You can't salute. You can't do nothing. You can't bow. You can't do nothing else." But you know, in my head, it's like, man, I'm still up. I got to keep going. That was in my head, and I got in the end zone. And so, but it was a flag on the play, and Julio Jones down there fighting on the other side of the field. I'm talking about he out there wearing the dude out too, man. I was like, man, he better not get that flag. It better not be on him. But they called a face mask on the other side of the ball on the other team. And so, man, I was gonna be hot, man, because that was one of them highlights I think it's on the Jumbotron now when they come out there and when they do the pregame. So, man, that's one of them runs that. That's one of my favorite runs for real, man. But that Arkansas game, man, it showed me a different side of me, and it made me better. I think I went for like 100, and I had a good yardage in receiving too. But I tell you, that game was way faster, and them guys are way bigger, and they hit way harder than the Virginia Techs and the North Texas and the FIUs and the FAUs. It was way different game out there, man. But, man, that was my invitation right there, man.
Yeah,
everybody ain't got no success story like you, man. God dog, man.
Well, I had a great offensive line. So, my offensive line, man, protected me. And I had a real good guy in front of me, too, man, that, showed me the ropes, named Mark Ingram. So, man, it helped me out a lot having him right there, too.
Hey, Trent, I got a question for you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's get to that question on the other side. We got to take a quick break real quick, Prince.
Okay.
All right, thank you. We are back. So tonight we want to talk about the difference between. Well, before we get into that, I know Prince, you had a question, and y'all, this is the ropes with TR3. This is our new show, and we are having fun with this platform. And so I know Prince, you had a question before we went to break.
Yes, I was just wanting to talk about our offensive line. Like you were saying prior to we went on break, you were saying something about you had some real big bodyguards when you was in school with that offensive line that you have. But for some reason, our offensive line is not gelling together. And do you see that, or am I looking at something wrong? Because the offensive line for many years has been our foundation, and for some reason I don't think they're in sync. And I just wanted to see your thoughts, being a running back. What you seeing? Why it's not translating to the line that we have now?
Well, you know what, man, I can hit on that on all ends, because not just the offensive line is not syncing. Like I don't see the team syncing together. Like even with the DBs, like and I don't think those guys spend time with each other, man. When we was in school, you see one of us, you see five of us, you see 6, 10. We wasn't, we wouldn't let nobody go nowhere with each other by themselves. Like we was, I mean, 4 might have been, and we was a car 2 or 3 deep, and we was fitting in that thing packed in there like clowns. That's how we roll, and we took up for each other, man. Mike made a statement yesterday, and Mike, you said if we at a party and something go down, if you fit to get whooped, I'm fit to get whooped too. And that's how we was, man. We was brothers, man. We was real family, man. And so like that whole concept of being together, that brotherhood, that togetherness, like it gotta stick. And I don't see it sticking with this team, and I don't know what it's gonna take for these kids to realize, like, hey, we can't do this as individuals. Like we got to do this together, man. I mean, we used to be scared of like just letting Rolando McClain down, because we seen how hard he went in the week, and we seen how he'll get on our tail, or Javier Reyes. I used to be scared to let Mike down. I mean. Even if we was praying afterwards, man, I didn't want to say the wrong prayer. That's how much of togetherness that we had. Like, man, it's something about, being a family and being mentally there when you're playing a game, of football or basketball, or, that's it's not an individual lane. For football, man, you got to have family, man, because it's a real village. Am I wrong, Mike?
Oh man, brother, there's no lies told there. To follow suit, I mean, I don't think the team chemistry. I know people get tired of us talking about the social media thing, but people, they think the followers are their friends. So as much as they, you know what I'm saying. So I think they feel like they don't need their teammates. If they don't have a bad game, people get into their feelings, their emotions. You got emotional players now. And, it used to be a situation where, hey, bro, you only got one, my bad. And, miss a 110 or a curve if you want to. It's going to be a misunderstanding, bro. Like, we finna whoop you in this locker room. They don't have that anymore. There's no more accountability. And brothers going to fight. That's what it is. It's sibling rivalry for a reason. And I don't think they go through that. I think they're promised too many things. I think, like you see it right now, you heard the kid's feeling. He gonna enter the transfer portal.
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting at, Mike. You hit the nail on the head right there. That's what I was getting to, because that, like you said, you yell at a kid as a coach, they gonna get in the portal and they gonna be gone. So you can't coach the same. And then that Bama Sci-Fi got to mean something to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying, like that brotherhood. It's just nothing like it. So when y'all was there, did y'all have apartment? Or did y'all stay in Bryant Hall?
It was mandatory for us to stay for 2 years in Bryant.
Yeah,
so what is it now?
Yeah, some guys had to stay all 4 years. The ones that needed a little bit more attention. Some guys had to stay 3 to 4 years in Bryant.
The ones who had the big hall passes.
Yeah, so what's the big hall pass?
Come on, man. You already know what that is, man. I ain't gotta go into that.
Man, because I don't think Roy Upchurch ever moved off, or Terrence Cody ever moved off campus, man. He was just on last night with us, but I think Cody stayed on. Cody ain't get his first real room until he got to the NFL, his own place. But other than that, man, it was a mandatory 2 years, man, or almost 3 years, and it had to be a 2 complete years too. So. And like we all, we all moved in the same area, but man, we stayed close together. If we did move off campus, or we was roommates.
Yeah, man, and I think the NIL got a lot to do with stuff too, man. I think that that
Yeah,
everybody can't deal with somebody getting more than them. I mean, I don't know how is that working out as far as NIL. You think that's playing a big part of it too?
I think it's playing a huge part of it, man. But guys got to realize too, man. When you get to the next level, if you make it that far, it's the same thing. I mean, you're gonna have your quarterbacks making all the money. You're gonna have some guys that wasn't highly picked, or you're gonna have some guys that are not out there performing, and they're not gonna gonna get the same that everybody else. And you're gonna have some some practice teams, some practice squad guys, and they not gonna make that much. And so with that these guys gotta get with it. And I know it's different. I mean, but at the end of the day, man, I gotta be able to look myself in the mirror and be like, and ask, did I do my job? So I know, Mike, you got a little bit more to comment on that. So what's your thoughts on that, Mike?
Say that question one more time.
About the NIL deal, is that a problem in the locker room and guys
man,
not being together?
I feel, and I hate comparing us to animals, man, but I always use it as an analogy. When you go to the zoo or an animal get captured in the zoo, man, the first thing they say is don't feed them. Or once you get in behind the zoo, they can no longer go back into the wild. Why? Because they become accustomed to being they know when they're going to eat. You know what I'm saying? You take away their inability to hunt. And that's what's going on, man. I think if you take a kid who's 17 or 18 and you give him, he comes from a low poverty area, and you give this kid $5,000 a month, it could be $3,000 a month. You ain't going to tell him nothing because now he knows, hey, man, I can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
There's no more pressure on me.
Totally agree with you on that, Mike.
And I feel like, and now that you're paying these kids, then they're still kids. Now you're making these guys professionals now. Now these kids are now susceptible to being criticized because now I'm paying you. Now you're finna see depression go up to an all-time high because if I'm paying a kid $10,000 a month and he doesn't perform to the standards that I feel he should, the next year he's not getting that money. What are you telling that kid? He's not good enough. His mind can't process that.
Yeah.
And it's different when you got a two-household parent. You got guys like a Bryce who his dad is a psychologist. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably been playing Jedi mind tricks with him forever. But what about the quarterback quarterback at Clemson? He had $1 million NIL deal last year. I know dang well he ain't got the same endorsements now. So,
no.
How do you thrive? I don't think it can last unless they come up with some type of. I think they should make them say, "Hey, man, we're gonna put your money in a Roth IRA. We're gonna teach you how to grow it. Maybe a 401k. Maybe we can save this money. Give them a percentage of the money and hold them till they graduate or go to the league."
And Mike, I was just talking to somebody about that situation. I'm all for that. Let them get money, but don't relinquish the money until they are finished with college or finished with their football. When their football days are up at the university, so they'll have that money waiting on them, and they won't have to spend it all. Like I said, give them a percentage, but I would put that money. I would defer that money on down the line. So they'll be ahead of the game just in case they may not make the NFL. You know what I'm saying? They can start their life fresh. They can buy a house. They can start their own business. Whereas when we left college, we didn't have that money waiting on us. We had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Man, half of us didn't even have health insurance or didn't even know how to file for it. We didn't know how to file for taxes. And most people don't realize these NIL deals, bro, you got to pay taxes on that money.
You got to pay taxes on it.
Nobody's telling you how to. And then, again, majority of these kids coming from a black background, so you're not used to this type of money or this type of access to wealth. So, bro, you giving a kid a gun who don't know how to shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to tell a kid who makes more money than his parents?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's where the disrespect come in at. Bro, I make more money than you. How you going to tell me what to do? Whoa, now, it's going to get to that point. And, you take away that hunger to make it to the NFL.
Yeah, man, great stuff, man. You know, it's stuff like that, man, that people need to hear, and you know, these kids need to see, man, and realize like, hey, this stuff, some of this stuff is not promised, and so when you don't make it, or when you know, this stuff run out, man, what are you gonna do? But man, we are running out of time for this segment, man. We're gonna get to the next segment, and I know you got to get on, Mike. I know you got some stuff you got to do, man. I love what you're doing down there with those kids, Mike. I sure appreciate you for coming on, man. And man, just know, man, next Tuesday, man, I can't wait to see you, big dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Prince, you gonna be on for a little bit?
I got about 5 more minutes, and I got to get off as well.
Okay, cool. Most definitely.
Hey, Mike, it's a pleasure talking to you. We'll spend some more time together, and and be safe on your travels. And I'll talk to you later, my brother.
I appreciate it, man. Y'all hold in the road. Y'all be blessed and roll tide.
Roll tide. B-Side 5.
For life.
We are back with more of the ropes with TR3. We do have a surprise guest, man. We got Landon Collins on the line, man. The one and only first rounder, All-American from Alabama. Landon, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. How everything going with you and your family, man?
Everything going good up here in New York, chilling. Family still in Florida, so everybody doing good. Everybody solid for sure.
Yeah, man.
How yours going?
Man, everybody good, man. We got Prince Wimbley still on. Prince, you still on there too?
I'm still here, man.
Yeah, we got the legend Prince Wimbley on there too, man. Yeah, we everybody doing good on my end, man. My kids, they getting older and bigger, man. My girls are in 10th grade and 9th grade, man. My oldest girl, she's driving now, and she's 16. And, man, 2 more years, she'll be at Alabama, man. And 3 more years, my youngest girl will be there, man. My son, he's...
There you go.
Yeah, he balling in football and basketball. My oldest son is, and my youngest son, man, he balling in football, man. So it's wide open for me, man. Yeah.
There you go. That's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, man. So we was talking earlier, man, about, your first invitation to the SEC. Like, what was your first invitation to the SEC?
Invitation, as you mean, like playing wise?
Yeah, playing wise. Like, hey, okay, man. It's different.
Shoot, it had to be my freshman year. I'm on special teams only at this time. Freshman year.
You played
and
as a freshman.
I was, huh?
You played as a freshman in Alabama too.
Yeah, definitely. I was the gunner on the left side. We playing Mississippi State. Oh man, and you think at that time when you're a young kid, you think you got the moves, you think you got the sauce. So I was getting vice, and man, they hemmed me up so hard, and I couldn't go nowhere. I say never again. That was my little welcome to SEC for sure. And I know I had to just get my act right and just be like, I got something to do, I got something to work on, something to prove, and something to decide on. Just like I got to get after it. You feel me?
Yeah. So man,
I always think about that moment.
Man, I know that moment changed your life, as far as football.
Yeah.
And thinking about, because like I was just telling them earlier, like, man, it was way different playing Arkansas than, from playing the North Texas and the FIUs and in the Virginia Techs. The SEC football is way faster. Everybody's bigger. Everybody's stronger. It's just
Correct.
different. And you can't explain it to nobody.
Different.
Yeah, they had to see it for themselves. Like people ask
Correct.
me all
You had
the
to be a
time.
part. You had to be on the field. You had to go through it. You had to be in those rooms. You had to be on the field. You had to be in those environments on Saturday nights. Saturday at 1:00, Saturday sometimes at 12. You feel me? You have to be in those environments, understand what the SEC is like, how much dedication, how much focus it takes, how much of a brotherhood we had to be for one another to push through some of those games. Because sometimes adversity hits and momentum changes, and it's a fight, and sometimes it's a fight to the end, and we know we're the better team, but we just gotta prove it. You feel me?
Well, Landon, the come into what you were just saying, previously before you got into this call, we're talking about Bama Psi-Phi, and how much that meant to us and our brotherhood, the relationships that we had and we built, and being together on that field. I think that's what's missing from the current team that we have now. Don't seem like that brotherhood is there for some reason. Do you agree with that?
That's what I've been noticing too. Like when last time I visited for a game, they don't even sing the B-Side-Phi song. You feel me? We sung it all the way till when I left until I think the last guy I remember I played with was Reggie and Denzel Duval. They don't even sing the B-Side-Phi song no more. So I already know that brotherhood.
You talking about going into the game? They don't sing it no more?
Huh?
Going into the game, they don't sing it, like coming out the locker room. They don't sing it.
Yeah, going into the game, coming out the locker. Last time I've been, I haven't heard it. I'm like, it don't feel like, it doesn't feel like it's there. Man, even though they're going through it, blood, sweat, and tears, but it's not there. Huh?
You just brought some chills on my arm when you said that. I can't believe they don't even embrace the Bama Psi-Phi family culture that we built down there.
Correct. Last person I heard that know about it was I'm playing with him now, Xavier McKinney. He was the last person I heard. He said they still was singing it at that time, but he's been in the league for the past 3 years. So
wow.
I don't know what's happening or how it faded, anything like that. But I feel like I think as a whole, like we need to get that few alumni guys back and teach them boys how this song goes and what this song meant, what it's meant for, and what we built is for. And they got to just to continue that tradition going, because I don't think it's there. That's what I think it's definitely missing. I mean, they're definitely brothers on there, but they not like that killer mentality is not there. I don't feel it. When people step on the field against any of us, we had a killer mentality. We was coming out there to, destroy.
Preach,
and
man.
I learned that from the older vets from me. That was above me, watching y'all, Mark and everything, like watching y'all and y'all coming through that locker room. Me as a recruit at the time, listening to the song as y'all watching out, like I'm like, yeah, that's it. You know what I mean?
So what? And I don't want to get off top. Well, I don't want to get off that topic because I'm gonna come right back to it. What initially made it home for you? Because I know you're from Louisiana, you're from New Orleans, and so I know that was tough getting up out of there. With LSU. LSU was a powerhouse at the time too. I mean, with that school there, man, getting from that area, and I know Burns recruited you, Coach Burns. He's from Louisiana, he's from New Orleans too. So, man, how hard was it to get out of there?
Nah, I mean, it wasn't hard to get up out of there because I was like, I wanted to commit to Alabama after my sophomore year. I would think I was like a 2-3 star at the time or whatever I was at that time. And the treating y'all, literally the fans, the organization, upstairs, the coaching staff, you just felt like they cared. You know what I mean? More than any other organization I went to. Most other organizations was trying to, they was flaunting things. Other than that, Bama was they tell you the truth. They was transparent. They told me, hey, you come here, you're going to win a championship. You're not going to start. You're going to have competition each and every day. You're going to work your butt off. And, bro, that's what I wanted, because to be the best in any level or be the best in anything in life, you got to be able to live up to those expectations. You feel me? So from there, that's what made me really choose Alabama. Just that honest love, the honest love that they have for me, knowing that if I came here, I'll get the best possibility to play, learn, and be the best I can be going into the NFL.
And I'm gonna ask you this because I know this is definitely gonna always be a big part of your history, your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
The day of your the day of your signing.
I already know.
On the home again. Mom Deuce wasn't having it. And you
was not having it.
And you went against the grain with her. And when you went against the grain with her, she was hot. She was hot. She was a chili pepper hot. She was Louisiana hot.
Yeah.
But
Facts.
it all done paid off, man. So,
definitely.
What did you say to kids that, that want to have that voice, though? Because I know parents play a big role, and nowadays it's even worse. Like, it's way different now. Like, I see it in Little League sports with my kids. And so, what do you say to kids that, want to step out and do their own thing?
I always told, like I always go back when people ask me about even just about that moment. I was always told our parents they're raising men. You know what I mean? They're not raising boys. So when you're in that at the age, I think I was I honestly just turned 18 at that time. At that age, I was like, my mom raised me to be a man and make my own decisions for the best for me and the best for my family, you know, and places that I wanted to be happy at. So when I tell another young man that's trying to make that decision or make a decision on anywhere in part of life, I said, you have to make a decision based on you and what's best for you, because in the long haul, you have to be happy, you have to deal with it, and you have to take the consequences that come from it, you know. So from there, take that into mindset, because your mom is not going to be going through it, your dad not going to be going through it, your cousin not going to be going through it, you're going to be going through it, you know. And you have to understand, like, when you step into those doors, mom and dad not there no more. Cousin not there no more. Uncle not there no more. You feel me? You got to go to those classes. Yeah. You got to go deal with the coaching staff, and you got to go deal with the workouts. You got to go do the runs, the 110s, within 16 seconds or whatever times we had to do. Like, you have to decide that for yourself because later on in life, when you're now 25 going on to 30 or however old you are, there's times when you got to do these business deals now. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't lean on these other people. You got to kind of lean on doing your own work, doing your own homework, and understanding what's presented to you, and making that decision for yourself and for your future. So yeah, that's what I kind of say to people.
Yeah, and it's crazy, because I'm gonna ask you the same question, Prince. But it was crazy for me because my mama wanted me to be an LSU Tiger too, and so when we went to visit, you know, Baton Rouge, we'll be able to go to Lafayette. My brother was a defensive end at Louisiana Lafayette. And so my freshman year, I would have got to play against my brother. It would have been his last year in school, but my mom was going, you know, she was thinking about moving up to Louisiana, you know, moving more to Lafayette than anything. But and my situation, it was for me, like because I at this point, you know, in my life, I had already, like I was already, I don't want to say a man, but I was a young man, because I was already raising a child. I was a child raising a child, and so for me, I had told my mom, like, hey, I got to make the decision for the next 3 to 4 years when I'm going to play. You know, hopefully it's 3 years, but, you know, she was telling everybody, you know, we're going to be a Tiger. We're going to be a Tiger. You know, she had never visited Alabama. This was, you know, before we visited Alabama. And so when she had finally visited Alabama, we rolling with the Tide. You know, but, you know, it was one of them things to where it's like, man, you know, I get it. You know, from where we're from, you're excited because you see new stuff. And, you know, we don't see stuff like that, man. And you know, being around those, you know, nice schools with all those, you know, nice academic, you know, places. Like, that was, you know, a big thing for Mama. She loved the academic center. That was huge for her. And, you know, and to be in the middle to where she can go see both of her kids, you know, playing ball at the same time, you know, in the same year, you know, and don't have to, you know, travel, you know, because I think from Alabama to Lafayette, I think it might have been like a 5-6 hour difference, you know. So for her, man, it was just, you know, right in between. So it was love for her, you know what I'm saying? So for me, man, you know, it was hard trying to get from LSU too, and being from Pensacola. I mean, being from Pensacola, it might be 3 hours. No, maybe 2.5 hours from Baton Rouge. Yeah, Baton Rouge might be 2.5 hours from Pensacola. So that was tough too, you know, the distance. But I had to do my own thing, man.
That's a little drive. Yeah. Right.
And Prince, coming from Miami, Prince, like, how was that for you? Like, and that was back when the U was the U, when you was playing P.
Right, the U was really popping. How you got out of that?
Man, to be honest, my mom and my dad, man, they left the decision totally up to me. Florida, I was gonna go to Florida, but that back then, Trent, you know, when Emmett was there, they was just not getting on probation. So I was like, I ain't going nowhere that my family and my friends can't watch me on TV. So that eliminated that. Then I went to Michigan, Desmond Howard and all them was up there, but it was too cold, man. Coming from Florida, like, man, that ain't gonna work. But when I went to Alabama, man, my intuition kicked in, man. It just felt like home. Derek Thomas was my host, and Bobby Humphrey was my host. And me and Derek Thomas grew up together in Miami. So I kind of was watching Alabama from afar. But once I got there and took my visit, it felt like I was back home at the crib. Yeah. You know what I mean? We just had so much fun. It wasn't no hidden agendas. it just felt like home, man. And so it was easy for me to make my choice once I went there and came back. I was like, know what? I'm going to Alabama because it just felt like home. Their fans, they got the best fan base in America, as y'all know, in the world. So when I went to a game, I was like, man, these fans are crazy. They love their football here at Alabama. I thought Florida people was crazy, but man, them Crimson Tide fans is only one of them. So
Yeah.
I think I made the right decision. I know I did because Alabama's my home now. I mean, name recognition opens up a lot of doors for Alabama players. If you get a good education and keep your nose clean, you got people here in the state of Alabama that's willing to help you at a big platform. So, you know, like I said, my family, they let me make my own decision, and I was very, very happy they did. They didn't put no pressure on me.
Well, man, I know you got to get ready to go, man. I sure appreciate you for that, man. Landon, can you hang around for a few more minutes if you can? All right, man. I sure appreciate you.
Hey, Landon, it was a pleasure meeting you, my brother, man.
Dang,
we'll catch
likewise,
up a little bit later.
bro.
And Trent, we'll talk a little bit later. I really appreciate you having me on your show. I'm pretty sure I'll be on there a lot more times. Maybe it'll be a consistent thing. And Roll Tide, Bama Sci-Fi. We got to get that Bama Sci-Fi love back at the university, man. That's killing my heart right now.
Got to.
All right, we will be right back. We're going to take a quick break, and you are listening to The Ropes with TR3. And you are listening to The Ropes with TR3.
Man, real quick, man. I know this is gonna be real quick, but like Landon, I know you still on there, man. How's New York been for you and your family?
It's been good. It's just signed the time. Just signed back like what? I think about 4 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's been smooth. Fans been giving it love as usual. Being back here has felt like home. It just feels right. Just waiting. Just being patient, waiting on an opportunity to showcase my ability, my skills, whenever I get to touch the field on a regular basis. So, but other than that, it's been good. They're excited. My boys are into basketball, so this is like the perfect place for them to get those skills, honing in on those skills, and get that real taste of basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I know you in the middle of it right now, man. Y'all got the Knicks up there, y'all got the Nets, and man, how's that been, man? Being around that, with basketball and stuff too, man. How you been able to get in the games? I know you like going to the games a lot too.
Yeah, I haven't been not yet. Been invited to a few, just haven't had the time. Just wanted to, had to get I'm more worried about getting the playbook down, making sure I'm adjusted to the system, knowing what they wanted me to do, filling in my role as a player here before even just taking my time out to go do those things. I want to get that playbook down. The ball comes first. Once I get ball first down, then I could venture out into the city, So, but yeah, I mean, I go out there, get some dinner. There's restaurants all over, great restaurants all over. So it's smooth for me.
Man, I got a crazy story about y'all owner, man. When we get back on the other side of this, man, I'm gonna tell you about him and your boy Cruz out there, man. I got a crazy story, man. But I'm gonna tell you about it when we get to the other side.
Okay.
We're going to take another quick break, and we will be back coming to you from AVX Studios. It's The Ropes with TR3.
The Ropes with TR3. Two-time national champion, three-time All-American, 2011 SEC Offensive Player of the Year, Heisman finalist, and Alabama's first Doak Walker Award winner with 49 touchdowns and 4,590 yards. Third pick of the 2012 NFL Draft to the Cleveland Browns. Also doing a stint with the Indianapolis Colts. Trent Richardson can do it all under the brightest lights, uniting legends of the game to show you the ropes. Train your body and mind with former Alabama wide receiver, 2009 National Champion, Coach Mike McCoy. Develop a championship mentality with two-time National Champion, 2015 SEC Player of the Year, Super Bowl winner with the Chiefs, Reggie Ragland. Featuring King of the Stage, comedian legend Jermaine Funny Mane Johnson, and 1992 National Champion Antonio Langham. You are your way out. Live from AVX Studios in downtown Birmingham, The Ropes with TR3.
We are back. This segment is brought to you by Avast Realty, and you're listening to The Ropes with TR3.
We still have Landon online, man, and Landon, you are a legend, man. And I don't think people realize like the legend of your recruiting class, because y'all kept it going, when we got up out of there, man. And I think you was the point, because we had different people, that made that recruiting class. Like Julio Jones made that 08 class. Like I was the spot for that 09 class, and for your class, man, like you was like, I remember them telling me like, hey man, this guy can play. He can play running back. He can play safety. He can play receiver. Like you was everything, bro. Like. With your class, like how many rings did y'all win within your class? Because I know with my class we had won 3. Within your class, like, how many rings did y'all win?
So first of all, you the legend. I just want to clear that up for sure. You hear them stats they just called out, man that was crazy.
I was just reading yours, man. Look, man, you got all these interceptions and sacks and fumble recoveries and breakups and 600 this and tackles and something, man. Look, that's at the NFL level too. So, man, look, I'm just not trying to be like you when I grow up.
Likewise. But honestly, bro, we only won 1. When I was there, I left in 3. My class actually won 2. They were the first. We won the second. In the what is called. The championship right now. What is the Final Four or whatever?
BCS
what is it called
national?
Again? Huh?
Talking about the BCS or the National?
Yeah, we won the BCS.
Oh, the SEC.
Because we won the No, I'm talking about the playoffs. Yes, we won the playoffs against Clemson in Arizona. And then we won once y'all left. Once y'all beat LSU, we went back and beat Notre Dame on the back-to-back. Mm-hmm. So won that year. So my class have 2. I only have 1 because I left in 3. But if I would have stayed in my 4th year, I would have definitely had 1. Had 2.
Yeah.
But we should have won 3. But Auburn brought that field goal out. That killed my heart. Killed my heart, bro. I was mad, bro. That sucks when you're on the sideline and you can't do nothing. And you just watching this guy run down the sideline. It's like, I would knock his head off. You feel me?
Man, and that was one of those moments like for me, if I was on that sideline, I probably would have tried to trip him if he came to our sideline. He was running on our sideline. I would have took that penalty than anything. I
would have took all of that. I would definitely put our defense on the field and made sure they had to have that opportunity to try to score. I would definitely put my foot out there.
Man,
couldn't do it. I couldn't take it. But other than that, yeah, my class have 2. I have 1 though, for sure.
Like when you see this happening, right? And I'm glad you brought that up. When you see this happening as a player that's in the middle of the game, like what's your reaction? What was going through your mind?
It was just either push somebody, tackle him, push him out of bounds, give us a chance to go in overtime. Give us a chance to go in overtime so we can end this game and go beat Florida State. And it didn't happen, bro. Even though we all know he stepped out of bounds. But, everybody have it off for Bama. They don't ever want Bama to win. We always got to go the hard and long way.
And it's so crazy, man, because I'm sitting there watching it. And and it's me and Big Chap, man. We in Indianapolis, and I'm like, man, I know he got to step out of bounds. Somebody push him, and I'm looking like, oh, it ain't no athletic people on the field at all.
On the field, yep.
And I'm looking at it, and as it happened, like you hear everybody like, oh, but like me and Chap in the room by ourselves, and so we going to the meeting. We stood up and told him, hey, don't nobody better not say nothing about that game. Everybody bust out laughing.
Hey, that's how it is now. Like literally when we lost to LSU, man, I stood up in that down. Hey, don't even want to talk about it. Don't bring it up. Don't say nothing.
I don't
the crazy
think people...
part is,
Go ahead.
I said the crazy part is people respect us that much.
Yeah.
Well, respect us and also respect Alabama. Like they do not bring it up or they don't talk about it because I think it's, for one, they can't say much. We have more rings to most colleges and most people on teams. You feel me? So
you think about it, bro. Like when we step into an NFL locker room, bro, like all the rings that we have together is more than these universities have. Like
correct.
Like national championship rings. Like it's crazy. Like, but like that's the beauty of being at Bama though. Like you're gonna win a national championship at your 3 to 4 years there. And you're gonna go, you're gonna go a big time pick. You're gonna, it's if you do what you're supposed to do there, like it is no reason why with the recruits that he bring in, with the coaches that he have around you, with everything that he have, what Nick has down there, like it's almost not a way to, how can you fail?
Yeah, it's a win-win. You winning, and you winning. It's how can anything else happen? Yeah, you're very correct.
So tell me this: what was your introduction into the NFL? What was your all right? And tell me this. And well, after this question, I'm gonna ask you another one.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Just tell me your introduction into the NFL. Did you ever get that moment to where it was like, okay?
I never had that moment like. Welcome to the NFL. It was more on I had the more of that like I had to like pick my game up kind of moment. You know what I mean? Like if that makes sense, it was like nobody was showing me. I look at it this way because when I went to the NFL, I didn't have a safety vet next to me. You know what I mean? Like a big safety vet that kind of could to teach me the game. They brought in Brandon Merriweather kind of late into the season. So it was like he was trying to teach me the ropes, but old vets sometimes some vets kind of help you out, some vets don't. He was, and then sometimes he wasn't kind of teaching me. It was just more of a like I had to figure that stuff out. And the team was asking me this, and now I'm trying to do this. It was just a comparison of a lot of things at that time. So I never really had like a welcome to the NFL. It was more of like, hey, this is my job. This is something that I love and want to do. And then I had to just pick my game up because stuff was just kind of happening fast, and it was like I was their guy on defense that needed to make things work, and I just had to flip a switch.
Yeah. So tell me this, like, and I tell people all the time because they ask me this question all the time, like, what's the difference between the NFL and college football? And I kind of give my analogy on it. To me, it was a step down, and I say that because SEC, man, any given Saturday, and this is before, I played before they had the playoffs, and so you couldn't lose on any Saturday. And so NFL, you can go lose 6 to 8 games and still make the playoffs as long as you win your conference. That's the difference. And so, college football, when I was in school, like you could not lose. Like that year we lost the game against LSU, and we came back and beat them in the championship, bro. Like we was 2 up from that. Like man, like how? Like and then the football guys, they just came down. They did what they did, and it got us back in that game with them boys, and we took them a new one. But for you, like
I was definitely there.
yeah, I remember that. Like what was like what's your analogy on that, man?
I think it's totally 2 different playing fields. If you're talking about football wise, it's faster because a lot of guys when you get in the NFL, the intellectual, the speed, the knowledge of the game is a big factor. Like, to me, I know how every yard matters now in the NFL. In college, it was like who got the best players and who got the best system to kind of just make that thing mesh, and who got the best players in those positions to make it mesh. In the NFL, it's guys from all over. It's guys with different emotions. It's a lot of ego checks being checked in there, and people just being put in different situations. So, like you said, I think it's a dream to come true to play in the NFL. But like you said, it's down because you got guys in there like when we played for Alabama, we played it because we loved the game. We hate everybody on the team. Hated losing. Mm-hmm. Like when we lost, bro, the next team that had to play us, we like they already know what was coming down. Like we coming to really hurt y'all. You know, in the NFL when we lose, like when you lose, it's like okay, on to the next game. And then that was like an eye opener to me when I was a rookie. I'm like, I couldn't stand. I only lost 2-3 games, and that was bowl games in college. You feel me? So I'm looking like y'all just kind of just going about y'all day like we still got time, and it just kind of messes with my mind. And I'm like, it still messes with my mind now because like losing, I still hate losing, and if I get the opportunity to try to make a game-changing play, help us win, like put us in a position to win, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my body on the line for that. And then it's just the mindset from NFL to college is totally different, bro. And you got to really want to be on the team with them dogs that really want to do this and play this game. You know what I mean? Because you got different. A lot of people got different reasons on why they play this game. So.
That's a good thing you said. So you get to a point to where now you don't made a lot of money. You done made you done had a good career in the NFL. And so as you go into what year this is for you now?
Year 8. This year 8 right here.
Year 8. So like when I ask these people these questions, what motivates you now? Because you done been Pro Bowl, you done done all that. So what is your motivation now?
My biggest motivation right now is that gold jacket, bro. That gold jacket. I've did almost like everything besides win the Super Bowl yet. That's next. That's the ultimate goal. But bro, getting that gold jacket, still got to work in a lot of ways towards it. Still just got to just show my ability to get those and make those game changing plays and showing that people I'm still one of those guys that could be a factor. So doing that, and it's hard to do, and that's one of the hardest things to continue doing because it's about being consistent. You know what I'm saying? I've been set back with injuries the last 2 years over at Washington, so that prolonged everything. So now I gotta go and take whatever opportunity to get on the field or whatever I need to do to continue going out and striving for that gold jacket, bro. That's my motivation. I mean, besides my family and making sure all my kids is perfect. That's my family goal and stuff like that. But my own personal goal is that gold jacket. That's my mindset. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And it's crazy that we on the phone right now talking about that gold jacket, man. And like you was talking about when you first came in, I know you had a guy that kind of took you underneath his wing, man. Oh, Ha just texted me. I want to get on with us right now. How was Ha when y'all was down there,
man? That's big, bro. That's big, bro. When I mean a guy that took me underneath his wing and said, we going to do this together. We going to be basically lightning and thunder. That's what we did when we was in the back end. Guy was a guy that just, because I was like, when I was coming on as a sophomore, I was still figuring the defense out. He said, I got you. You're going to play the strong side. I'm going to play the weak side. We're going to run it like that until we could start playing left and right. I said, all right, Pat. Because I knew the strong side, because I'm a strong safety, so I knew the strong side stuff. I just didn't know the weak side formations and how stuff we played. So he played that side, I played the strong side, and then we just kind of meshed like that, and we just always stayed in tune. We had this little thing, we just kind of just gave a little. Not many people would really see it on the field, but we would look at each other out of the corner of his eyes, and we just had this mesh of like, I know what he's about to do, and he knew what I was about to do. So it was smooth, bro. That's big bro right there. We still talk to this day, every other few weeks.
And it's crazy, man, because like me and Mark had that relationship, man. So I would ask Mark, you know, when he go out there on the field, like, hey, what you see out there? You know, what's going on? Or if I was to go out there first and something, because I know Mark got hurt my sophomore year, so I was, you know, starting for a little bit. And when he came back, he got his job back. You know, not saying that it was ever taken, man. He just won a Heisman. I mean, but you know, we had the respect for each other because there wasn't no starters with us. Like, you know, we played beside each other, and that's what we said. And so that's what it's always gonna be. And he knew, like, if he slowed down, he had a monster behind him. And I knew if I slowed down, I had another monster behind me named Eddie Lacy. And so, man, that relationship that all three of us had, man, was crazy, man.
I already know.
We're gonna take a quick break real quick. We're gonna get to the other side. We have Ha on there, man. Ha for to get ready to call in, man. So if you can stay on a little bit longer, man, for you can hear from Big Bro, man. So I so appreciate you.
No doubt.
Coming to you live from AVX Studios, we are back with the ropes from TR3.
We are back. What's going on, man? And we got Landon online right now. We're waiting on Ha to jump on, man. And look, man, these guys here, you know, and people always ask me, man, is that his real name? Yes, that's that man's real name. And it's crazy because they don't realize, like, hey, man, that's his real name, man. And they're like, man, stop calling him that. No, I'm not calling him that. That's his name.
Name, facts. Like,
what I'm supposed to call him?
They be like, nah, they can't.
Yeah, I'm supposed to call him something else.
That's his name.
The mama name, Ha. I'm gonna call him Ha.
Facts.
Man, it's crazy.
It's government.
Yeah, that's his government name, and it's crazy because, you know, we always had that one movie, right? And in the locker room that we used to love. And for us, I don't know about y'all, man, our movie was Life. And so everybody used to say that he looked like Ray Gibson. And old Ray, he looked like old Eddie Murphy, man. And so you put a picture of him being Ray Gibson and you put a picture of Ha next to each other. They look like twins. Like, somebody need to do some explaining.
Hey, maybe, you know, maybe as a cousin or something.
It might be cousins, man. And man, Ha was a tremendous athlete, man, coming out of Florida, man. And, you know, when I heard about him, it was like, man, that, you know, between him, you know, and, you know, being from Florida and, you know, him not being too far from where I was from, man, they was like, man, this kid here can play. And I was like, okay, well, you know, they can play in high school, you know, but, you know, can they really get on the field and play? And Ha might be one of the only freshmen that played out of his class. And so to play in our area when we was doing what we was doing, man, it was big. It was real big, man, because, I mean, we had some dogs back there, man. We had Mark Barron. We had D. Millender. We had Javi. We had Rolando McClain and Dante. We had Upshaw. We had Marcel Dares, Terrence Cody, Lorenzo Washington. Like we had some real dogs. Nico. Like, we had some dogs. Man, we had that defense was crazy.
Y'all crazy. Y'all had the whole nine, bro. I was looking at that defense. I was like, where would I fit in? But I was like, I'm ready for the competition. Forget it. I'm cool. I'm cool on everything. So it was exciting. Yeah, I was that dude for sure. Definitely when I was watching the year y'all played LSU in the championship, and he was back there rolling with Mark Barron. I was like, dang, a freshman playing in the biggest dance and going crazy too. Oh, that was exciting to see. I said, man, yeah, I got to do that. I got to do that. Yeah.
Oh, we had C.J. Mosley too. I forgot about C.J., man.
C.J. Mosley,
dogging, man.
Nico, Trey Dupree.
Trey Dupree. Like, people don't know how talented Trey was. Like, talented that man was, man. Like, he is slept on by, you know, because Trey was fast. He was big. He was strong.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he just
can't get right
sometimes.
I think, you know, He was it was him and CJ starting at the time. I think it was him, CJ, and Nick and Nico. Nico left my I think Nico left my dang. I think I played 1 year with Nico. Yeah, Nico left my after my freshman year. I played 1 year with him. And then,
man, you know, Nico was a big basketball player, man. Nico was a dog on that basketball court. We used to go in and rec, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we used to be playing ball, man. We used to beat the basketball team most of the time. But me, it'd be
heck
me,
yeah,
Nico.
We still was doing that after y'all left.
Oh yeah, man. Nico was his talent on that basketball court, man. Nico could have actually played in college and played in the league somewhere for real. If Nico wasn't, 6 feet, like he could have really been a real. If he was about 6'6", 6'8", he could have been somewhere starting in the NBA right now to this day. Like Nico, I'm talking about shooting off the backboard, calling this shot, coming down, driving. Like Nico was like him, Orlando McClain. Dante was pretty good. He was athletic. Courtney was pretty good. But you catch, some of them DBs weren't as I would say, I don't want to say talented, but they wasn't, so basketball shabby. But you had guys like D. Millender that can jump out the gym, but like he had that grandma shot though, and that was the funniest thing ever. I mean, his shot was so ugly, man, but it went in, and I hated playing against him because he had the quickest release, but it was a grandma shot. Like like how is this going in? But I would never pass on the ball on the wing. I just throw alley hoops at the old D. Millender, man. That man, I'm talking about taking underneath the legs, doing all the Kobe Bryant dunks and stuff like that. Him and Marquise Mays, man. Marquise Mays was a hell of a basketball player. Like he was just a unbelievable athlete. Like Lil Dog, man. When I mean Lil Dog could play sports and just go at it all day, man, he was something to deal with.
Now, that's a problem right there.
Now tell me this: when you on that football field, do you talk mess to folks? Because I got to see you play at Bama, and I think it might have been your freshman year. It was your freshman or your sophomore year, and we was down, and I think Blake was the quarterback at the time. I think it was Blake.
If Blake was the quarterback, that was my sophomore year.
Yeah, we was playing LSU in Louisiana, and I seen you out there, dog, and they played at I'm from Louisiana. They was playing that in the state, and you was rocking to it. And I was like, man, he live, man. He back home. This is home for him.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for you, bro. Like my thing was like I didn't talk best when I was playing because and I would tell guys who just try to talk to me like, bro, don't make me mad. Like that's the only thing I could tell you. Leave me alone. Like, that's
I'm on. I was the same wave you on. Like, don't cause I have the ability to come downhill on you at any given moment. Why you gonna say something to me? That's how I thought about it. Why you taking it there? Cause if you take it there, I'm gonna go all the way. You feel me? But I ain't really talk no mess to nobody. Honestly, people talk mess to me for sure, and then once they talk mess to me, I just I marked it down in my book. Put it down on the back pocket. And when it was a time to put him on his butt, that's what I did. Like I remember one time we was playing in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. We were playing against West Virginia. I was this is my third year. Chick-fil-A Bowl, number 10, the little receiver. I posted a picture of it. It's on my Instagram. Number 10. The receiver, he caught a little out route, and he was no bigger than 5'7". 5'7". He couldn't be wet. He could be wet 170 pounds, bro. So we met on the sideline. As the sideline tackle, you kind of give the shoulder like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
He threw his shoulder into me, so he threw his shoulder into me, but I didn't move. He just flew back. And then he kind of just started joining from right there. You feel me? I'm like, what you joining for?
That.
You try to put your shoulder down on the sideline. I'm like, what you joining for? So boom, I looked at him. I said, bet. That's all I said. Bet. That's all I said, bro. So boom, the whole game go on. We all the way through the fourth quarter. I haven't got a tackle on him yet. Fourth quarter. They had the last drive to try to go. I think they had this last drive to go score. They wanted to try to go score 2-minute drill or something like that. It was working at 2-minute drill. We was already blew them out, and he was running the over route, bro. It was like third and 15 or 18. He was running the over route, and I saw the quarterback throw it. I broke on the ball, bro. I could have easily picked the ball off. Easily. I took all my anger out on him.
I remember that.
Hit him and caught him in the ribs, and he walked out. He tried to make it to the sideline. Took his winners from out. He tried to make it to the sideline. He didn't make it to the sideline. They had to stop the clock. That's what you get from talking, bro. There's no purpose talking to me because I'm it's always gonna be in the back of my mind.
I remember that.
Yeah. I don't talk to nobody though. There's no purpose for me to talk to nobody. I'm gonna just be about it. That's all.
Yeah, that boy was crawling on the field, man. We do got Ha coming up though, man. He's trying to get on there now, and
cool.
Ha being a big contributor to the program, man. Because I know I know when I seen him down there in Mississippi State game, he was talking about coming back and coming on board, man. So his mind is set to change the tone around there, and that's what we need,
yeah.
man. When Mike was on earlier, Mike McCoy, he was talking about the dynasty is not over, but I definitely think that we need to get the crew, those guys that's gonna be around that's gonna be like the Bobby Williams, the Coach Burns, and guys are gonna really make some pit bulls out there.
Right.
We ain't trying to have no poodles out there. We trying to have these pit bull dogs out there, man, and we ain't talking about no fence dog. We talking about these real yard dogs out there that's gonna really make us work,
right.
man. So we gonna get into that on the other side, man, on the next segment, man. I sure appreciate you for sticking around, little bro.
No doubt. Appreciate you, big bro.
This segment is brought to you by Vast Realty, and you are listening to the legendary Trent Richardson on the ropes with TR3. We'll be right back.
Landon, we have Ha online now, man. We have him up and running, man. And I'm glad we got Ha in there, man, because he has been a big part of Alabama Dynasty, man. And me and Landon was talking about you earlier, man, how, took him underneath his wing, college and NFL, man. So I appreciate you for coming on, little bro.
Anytime, dog, anytime.
How everything going with you, man?
Man, it's going good, man. I can't complain about nothing, man. Actually, down here in Tuscaloosa, man, working with the squad, man. So it feels good to be back on campus and be around the game, of course. Just finished year 8 for the Denver Broncos, man. Had a good time up there with the young pups, man. Jared Judy and Pat Surtain, and of course the old head, man, Kareem Jack, though, man. But life's been good, man.
I forgot about Kareem. He was, And we was talking about the defense earlier. I forgot, man. People be forgetting about Kareem, man. But Kareem, he was the first original 3 boy for me. He was the original 3.
He is the alpha and omega and the standard of what an Alabama player should want to be like when it comes to being physical and just being a leader. Kareem ain't no goddamn big guy, but he hits you in the mouth. You're gonna feel him regardless. So that's why that's one thing I love about Kareem for sure.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Kareem, one of those guys that. He don't sugarcoat nothing. And last time I seen Kareem, I think it might have been, and I don't know, was you in this game, Landon? When it was no, I don't think you was in the NFL by now.
Nah, I wasn't.
Alabama was playing Georgia. Yeah, Alabama was playing Georgia, and they was in Atlanta, and Kareem was on the sideline. I ain't seen Kareem in so long, and I was just like, man, bro, how you doing? Like, to me, like Kareem was like when I talk about the original 3 boy, like Kareem was like that guy that that told me like, you wear this number, you got to be 3 and out. And so whenever I see somebody put that number 3 on, I let them know like that's the legacy of it. Like you got to be a 3 year and out. And I'm not just talking about a 3 year and out as in like you're not that guy. You're like you got to be that guy. Like Kareem has been that guy at all levels, and he play his own football. Like he play football the way it should be played. Like hard nosed, smash mouth football, and he stay out of people's way. Like you don't ever see nothing crazy about Kareem, and he's never been on that type of schedule. And Kareem has been a guy, man, that you gotta to be a model citizen in the NFL in college football. Like that's who you need to model your game around. You know the way you handle stuff. But man, we been getting into, man, like my thing. My question for today, man. What was your first invitation to SEC football, as far as on the field, being in the SEC real game? Because you played early as a freshman, and you got you got to play in some of those games that I think we might have played like North Texas or somebody like that early on. Mm-hmm. But it's a different atmosphere when you play that SEC football.
Yeah, man. I can say the first game I got to play in, man, was Kent State. I think we was up by 60. So, the freshmen get the mop up duty time. But it's still the same, integrity as it was for the starters, man. So just going into that game with Vinny and the young pups, man, and hell, we barely knew the calls, It was fun. First and foremost, of course, it was fun, man. I had a good time, and just being in that stadium, I think at home, man, was always a plus, man. Having the fans support you, and we up by 40 in the game, and they still they're still in the stands, man, cheering for us and stuff, man. That kind of kept us motivated to keep up with the standard. As far as SEC ball, man, I think the first time I realized how serious it was, and how good SEC was, man, was when we first played against Johnny Manziel. That went to my second year. But even the LSU game at home, man, my freshman year, man, when I think we lost 9-6, I believe. Yeah, whatever that score was, man, that was one of the most intense games I've ever been a part of, man. Just watching, the older heads dominate, man. Each and every play, dog, and to only kick field goals that entire game, I think was crazy.
Yeah, man, that was one of them games. Like I still want that game back. Like that's that game. Like I was so mad after the game because I feel like, man, like why they kept taking me out when we got to the red zone. Like I'm not tired. Like what's going on? Like and I just kept knocking my head. And so when we got down to the national championship, I was like, hey, we get in this game. Eddie, you gonna have to. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, Eddie. You gonna have to. You gonna have to sit back. I know you got your toe problem, all this other stuff, but look, hey, bro, you gonna have to. I ain't going out. Like that last drive we had playing against LSU in that national championship, they was telling me to get out the game. And I was like, no. Like I was, waving them off. Like I'm good. Like, hey. And I, finally got that 35-yard touchdown. But like that was one of them games though. Like, man, like if I can, play one game over in my college career, like that would be the game. Like do y'all got that game? Like what's the game in y'all college career that y'all feel like, man, like I wish I can go back and play that game like right now?
You wanna know the honest truth?
Mm-hmm.
I say the kick six game against Auburn.
Auburn.
If I just play that game over again, man, and a couple of our guys be healthy, we'll be being Florida State in the championship. But if woulda, coulda, shoulda, of course. But I was so sad that game, man. That Auburn game, man, on the kick six, man, hurt my heart.
It's so crazy. Landon was just talking about that game before you got on.
Lando, what's good, baby?
What's up, big bro?
I can't call it, man. I hear
smooth.
They got me down here working with the DBs, man, and spending time with the guys in academics, man. They really doing good off the field. We just got to keep coming together as a unit, man, on the back end, dog. And we gonna be good, bro. It's beautiful to watch these dudes grow, man, and of course, man, they want to see us, dog, and anytime we come back, man, they be happy as hell to see us, dog, and spend time with them, especially when, they see our faces all over the building and we actually in there, showing them love and, willing to work with them, man. It mean a lot to them, Lando. So when you get your butt in the off-season, brother, after the Super Bowl, bring your butt to T-Town, man. I need to see you.
Yeah, I'm going to be down there just because of you.
That's a
You
bet.
know that.
That's
You know,
a
I'm
bet.
just a
That's all
phone
I
call
need.
away. All you gotta do is text me or call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know it.
Tell me this,
bro. Good
Ha.
hearing your voice, man. Miss you, dog.
It's you too, dog. You know that.
Tell me this, Ha. Do the kids get down there like the legacy that like we built and you know the platform that they have, you know, to go out there and do what they're supposed to be doing every Saturday. You know, not just, you know, hey, we finna go out there and play another game. Do they realize like everybody's playing the national championship against y'all?
You was asking me or Ha.
Ha.
I can barely hear you,
Ha.
bro. What you say?
I said, do the kids down there get that when they approach that field and do they get like, hey, at the end of the day, like, you know, you're not just down there playing another game, you're down there playing your national championship every game, because everybody's playing a national championship against you. Like y'all, like we have the bullseye. Like we're where people want to be at. Like y'all got the opportunity to show on a different level how good y'all are, because everybody gonna give you everything. So do they get that yet?
I think they do. I think they understand it, man. It's just, I guess, dog, you know, since COVID, man, it's a lot of different things that have taken place versus when we was in school. You know, the standard was straightforward. You know, trust the process and, you know, focus on the little things, attention to detail. And I think we kind of getting away from that because of, you know, it's a new era. You know, it's a different group of guys coming in that have social media now. Like I said, COVID played a big part, man. You know, guys are starting to, you know, come more comfortable with themselves as young men. George Floyd incident happened, and you know, just more awareness. So, man, guys got a lot of emotions now, man, that I think kind of, you know, take away from the focus and the grind that we know was all installed in us. So I just think, man, the more these guys come together, man, the more they're going to understand how important it is. And do I think they're taking it for granted? Not at all. You know, these guys come to work every day, and they trying to get better. But I just think they need to get back tight how we was. You know, we was ready to die for each other. You know, and people think that's a game, but, you know, not saying die for sure, but that's how we felt. You know, every time we started to feel. And I think once they get back to that point, man, of wanting to, you know, compete for each other, man, lay on the line for each other, man, we're gonna be right where we want to be at.
Yeah, that's good there, man. That's crazy, because we were just talking about that. You know, once you see one of us, you seen 5, 6, 7, 8 of us. Like we was never nowhere by ourselves. You know, we was always together. Like it was real brothers. You know, blood couldn't have made us no deeper. You know what I mean? Like we was there. And, you know, even when we off the field, like even now, like, man, I call Ha, say, hey, I want you on the show. You know, we talked about it and we was down there at the game. Said, man, I'd love to be a part of it. You know, I mean, I hit Landon up earlier today. He hit me right back. You know, it's stuff like that, man. Like that brotherhood, man, that system that we have, man, it goes so far. Like I tell people all the time, like, man, you go to University of Alabama, like at the end of the day, I feel like it's almost better than having a Harvard degree. When you think about all these big doctors and stuff like that, like these lawyers, like it's some type of tie back to Alabama, some type of way. Either they're a fan, or they went there, or they got their undergrad, or they got their master's, or their bachelor's, whatever. Like it's some type of tie back to Alabama. Like, and I ain't never been nowhere that has been different. Like I go out the country, I'm in Mexico, man. It ain't nothing but Alabama stuff everywhere. And it's so beautiful to see, man, that, you know, something that we started, and it was started way before us too. Don't get me wrong, but something that we done built back up, man, it's made this dynasty even bigger.
Yeah.
Man, Ha, can you stay on there a little bit longer? And Landon, I don't know if you got to get off or not, man. I'd love to have you on there, man. We got one more segment, and we'll be done with the show tonight, man.
I would, but I got somewhere to run. For myself, personal reasons, but I appreciate you, big bro. Appreciate you, Trent. Appreciate you, Ha. I'll be down in T-Town. And shit, yeah, Trent, hit me anytime to come on the show about any situation, anything, you know. I'm down for it. You know, like I said, we B-Side 5 for life, brotherhood for life.
Man, and I
Like
appreciate
said,
you, man, for
blood
coming
can't
on,
make us
man.
no thicker, so.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming on, man. This is our platform here, man. This is not just my platform. This is our platform, man. You know, it's B-Side 5 forever, man. And I appreciate you dearly, man.
Always.
Hell yeah, Landon. I'll holler at you, baby. Love you, dog. Hold it down.
Love you, baby. Always.
We will be right back after the quick break, and you are listening to The Ropes with TR3.
Live from AVX Studios in downtown Birmingham, The Ropes with TR3.
This last segment is brought to you by Avast Realty, and you are listening to The Ropes with TR3. We are back.
Man, we got a few minutes, man. You know, everybody want to know, why do they call you Ha? And where did your mama get that name from?
So my grandma gave me that name when I was a kid, bro. My real name is Hassim, but it's spelled Hassan. And well, since I was a kid, from elementary to now, people have just been calling me Ha. And you know, Saban had a press conference my freshman year, and you know, people asked, you know, how is Hassim doing? You know, is he getting the system of X, Y, and Z? And Saban just replied like, you know, Ha-Ha's doing good, but he has a lot to improve on in X, Y, and Z. And everybody like, who the hell is Ha-Ha? Like, who are you talking about? And it just went nationwide from that, dog. And I just been rocking out Ha-Ha ever since then, bro. But it's been my name forever. It ain't just nothing that just got made up on the ride. But my grandma gave me that name when I was a kid, bro, and I've just been rocking with it forever. People think it's my real name for sure, but it ain't.
Well, up until this moment, I really thought it was your real name, so you just taught me something new tonight. Me and Landon thought it was your government name, so you just taught us all something new tonight. So, and it's so crazy because, you know, once we got them we in classes, right? And so me and Julio had a class together, and Dante had a class together. All of us, you know, we all had a class together, right? And so, you know, when they say people's name, they say my name, and you know, everybody looking at me because people don't realize my real name is Trenton. You know, it's not Trent. And so, you know, everybody looking at me, they laugh. I'm like, bro, what y'all laughing at? You know, so, but when they say Julio name, they don't say Julio Jones. They say Quintarius. And so everybody like, Quintarius? Like, where did Julio come from? And I think Dante's name was like Herman or something like that. It was something crazy. But it was like, man, we all go by, you know, little nicknames and, you know, little names that, you know, I you know, Pearson gave us, or, you know, our family, man. And so, man, that's special, man. Your grandma gave you that name, bro. Like, man, like that's something that, you know, when you get them names, bro, you gotta wear them names, you know, and you done that name.
It ain't coming up off you, you know. It's stuck with you.
Yeah, man, you done great with that old Ha over there, cause, bro. My brothers used to tell me.
I gotta keep it moving.
Yeah, man. My brothers used to tell me, right, because my brothers used to be big into recruiting and stuff. And so my brothers used to call me, right? One of my older brothers say, "But y'all got one night Ha coming up. Oh Ha. Oh how Ha doing? Oh Ha."
I think I might know what brother you talking about too.
Yeah. And you know, us being from Florida, man, you know, NCAA was big back in the day for us. Like, you know, I built my legacy off college, you know, NCAA football. Like, that was, you know, I wanted to be as strong as the guys that was in dynasty mode. We do recruiting class and stuff like that. And so, you know, my brother would go make your name in his recruiting class, bro. Like, and you know how it is, man. Like,
I'm telling you,
man, it's fun, man. So we used to get into that stuff, man. Like, you know, like, what was your game growing up? Was it NCAA? Was it Mario? Like, what was your game?
Man, I was on a 64, man, and on a Nintendo 64, man. That's what I had growing up, man. I had that 64, man, and dang, I had a couple games on there, man. Donkey Kong. Mario Kart. You know, those were NFL Blitz. You know, them the games I was playing.
So tell me this: was you a real a 64 player? Like, was you like you was a newcomer? Like, was you playing?
No.
Like
I was
Star
locked in
Fox?
on 64 now. I was locked in on 64. Soon as I got that for Christmas, you know, I ain't had too many gifts under that tree, but that was one of them. And I locked in with that for sure, man. I locked in with that for sure. I had to. So that was one of my favorite games growing up, dog. Was that 64?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I sure appreciate you
I
coming
probably
on.
stopped playing games, bro, when I got to college. Probably my sophomore year in college, I stopped playing games, bro. My mind just shifted. But I was on that PS3 playing that duty. I was real on that duty too, but I ain't into it no more. I ain't gonna say I ain't into it no more. The gamers done got too good with it. I can't even keep with it no more. I'm getting whooped by 12 years old and getting mad. So I just stopped playing, man. It's time to move on to a new hobby.
Man, it's so crazy because now my kids into Fortnite and stuff like that, but it's a different day and age, man. Like, these kids are getting paid to play video games. I told my son, man, like, hey, you need to go ahead and jump on that e-gaming, man. Hey, stop playing around with this outside football. No, I'm just playing. I ain't telling that.
No, man, but it's so many different ways to earn money, man. And I think that's beautiful that we actually got access to, find new hobbies that can actually lead into, career jobs and, being able to change the family history. I think is important. And if you got the chance to do that, doing something you love, whether that's sports or playing the game, and I think that's something that you should encourage your kids to do. But me personally, I would say, of course, keep them in sports. I mean, I think sports is the best thing that happened to me in life as far as, learning new things and having to, participate with the team. And I just think it's big, dog, just being on the schedule your whole life, man, being told what to do from 5th grade to 9, is always good, man, just having that structure. Knowing what you're doing from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. is a beautiful thing, man. I think if you can create that schedule, for a kid at a young age, it'll have to be successful, even when they're done playing sports. So I think it's great that you continue to keep your kids in sports, man. I know my daughters, they're gonna do it all. Track, baseball, I ain't passing no scholarships, so they gotta do something.
I know that's right, man. I sure appreciate you for coming on, haha, man. Hopefully I can get you on sometime next week. I know we got the big show on Tuesday nights, man, so hopefully we can have you on there with the Hometown Heroes. But, man, I sure appreciate you, haha.
Man, anytime, bro. It's like you said earlier, dog, it's brotherhood, man. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of BCS Phi, which is our fraternity, our football fraternity. And it's just amazing, man, how we all stick together, man. Speaking on last year, man, I played in Vegas for 10 games, and I wanted to finish the season with the Broncos. And Henry Ruggs had got into a little incident where he was out, and had an incident, and somebody lost their lives, and praying for that family and X, Y, and Z, that everything's going good on that behalf. And Henry didn't know that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? He made a mistake, and he's done a lot of things to grow from that situation. But not even to speak on that situation, but the way that I played with Leatherwood, Tinker was there, Big Fluke was there, DJ Fluke was on my team, Damian Square was on my team, Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs, and I'm missing somebody else, man. I can't think of his name. Leatherwood. I think I said Leatherwood and Collins. So we had about 8 or 9 guys on that team, bro. And when that incident happened, the way we came together as brothers, man, and kind of supported them. And a lot of people don't know, man, when that incident happened, we were told that we didn't have all the details, but all we knew was that he wasn't getting cut, and the Raiders were sticking behind him, and till the situation boiled over, and he had our support. But as soon as that happened, man, he ended up losing. They ended up releasing him, and when something like that, when a big incident like that happens, man, sometimes in the contract, he with his contract and stuff, man, you could particularly lose money in X, Y, and Z, man. So they had to froze all his accounts and stuff like that, man. And he had no access to money, man. And the way that the guys were ready to, give up $250,000 so he could at least, be able to still feed his family until everything boiled over, man. It was just great to see us come together, man, and still support him and have his back, man. And then that's what I love about B-Side 5, dog. It's a brotherhood, and it's never going no way, man. And we're here for life, dog. You got to know that.
Man, I sure appreciate you, man. Most definitely, man. Hearts out to everybody, man. So thank you.
No doubt, brother.
Looks like we are out of time for tonight, but we want to thank everybody for listening, and a special thanks to our guests, Landon Collins, Clinton-Dix, and Mike McCoy. Tune in tomorrow for another great show and great conversation. You have been listening to the legendary Trent Richardson on the ropes with TR3. And remember, you are your way out. Good night.